Walk me through the moment that you opened your mind to the possibility that healing work was real.
Well, I was probably approaching 40 years old at the time, and I had joined a spiritual class, and 3 weeks in, my hands started to burn. I didn't know why. I didn't know it was connected. And I remember, I joke about it because my hands felt like hot pokers. Mm-hmm. And I would say to my husband, "Is this menopause?" Following week in class, the teacher, for no reason at all, I didn't tell her about it, she said, "Put your hand on this lady's leg." You're crazy. The woman had been in a car accident years before. She had soft tissue damage, and it was a rainy Monday morning. I looked at her, and the teacher said, "No, Pat, just put your hand on her leg." So I put my hand on her thigh, and her pain went away in 2 minutes. Now, I didn't do anything because I didn't know I was supposed to. Right. I had no idea what was happening. And so I began. And I began playing quietly with my sisters. They didn't know. One had a migraine, and we were at a party. She was in a hot tub, and I went up, and I kind of put my hands on the back of her head. And next thing you know, I had the migraine. Hers was gone. I had it. So I went home, and I kind of talked to God, and I said, "Look, I'm open to this. This is wonderful. I surrender, but I can't walk around with everybody's pain." So the teacher that I had years before taught me a form of protection, which I use today, but I incorporated different things, and it worked. And I never had a problem again.
And that's your surround, ground, and shield?
That's my surround, ground, and shield. It started out to be like the WWE belt, imaginary. The surround, ground, shield didn't come until later. So all I wanted to do was cover everybody's solar plexus, because the solar plexus is where all this energy comes in from other people. So it's basically toxins. You're people who tell you their problems, people who are empathic, like yourself, myself. We store it, and it goes here, and it creates digestive issues, and it creates autoimmune situations, high sensitivities. I had them all. Had them all growing up, every last one of them. And when I started to heal people, my body healed. All the pain of psoriatic arthritis that I had, bone against bone, were my x-rays. I got rid of my asthma, my migraines, my irritable bowel, my eczema, psoriasis, and I'm sure sinusitis, many things that I'm mentioning just disappeared. I got a lot of nonsense from all my family members when this started. Nobody believed in it, and it was woo-woo to everybody. And so I got a lot of flack.
When did you start training others?
When I started to teach, it was really to teach balance. I would teach meditation. I would teach people how to love and honor themselves and others, forgive themselves and others, how to watch their thoughts and words, to cancel them. Whenever they said something negative, I would teach them how to send pink light and love to people that rubbed them the wrong way or they had a push-pull relationship with, and they would start opening up to their abilities. I didn't see it coming. I had no idea it was going to happen. But maybe that's what happened to me. I meditated for 3 weeks in a class, and next thing you know, my abilities were there. But they came fast and furious. And some of them were like that. Theresa Caputo, one of them. She was very fast, very quick, within 2 weeks. Mediumship is not a science. Spirit has to come through, but the medium has to know how to interpret it. And I teach them how to interpret. If I were a medium and I was reading you, my guides or spirit can only give me what's in my frame of reference. They cannot give me your frame of reference. They give me my frame of reference, and I interpret it to the best of my ability to give you the closest thing to your situation. So that's why every single reader and healer are unique. It's your job as the sitter to place it. Having practice, which gives you validation, allows you to get the confidence in yourself that I'm not making this up, because it's very subtle. It comes in your voice, so it's very subtle. It's not a booming male voice screaming in your ear.
What is in the water in Long Island?
I think it's just the fact that we're surrounded by water. There are so many that go back so far. Sylvia Brown, James Van Praagh, George Anderson, John Edwards. There's so many. I don't know how many have actually come through my doors in almost 30 years. That it was constant movement. Somebody said to me the other day, a gentleman that I met, and he said, "Are you famous?" I said, "I don't consider myself famous, but other people do."
What do you do when you see somebody get their ego in the way? Because you had that happen early on. You probably see it a lot. When people get the ego running the show.
Well, if it's my students, it's pushed right out the door because I tell them, no ego allowed in my classroom. Do your job, stay humble,
Right.
and deliver the mail with grace.
So the way I describe it to people who don't understand, it's like it's coming through you, not from you. So you're basically the hose. You're attaching to the sink or whatever, to the water source, and it's coming through you and going into your subjects. And through that transmission, it's healing you.
Exactly.
How many other intuitive people are in your family? You got a lot of them.
Yes.
And do you think this runs in families?
I think everyone on the planet is intuitive. But as far as my family, obviously my sister Carol. My sister Eileen is actually a healer. I have a daughter who could be a medium if she chose to follow that path, but she's busy being a mom. I think my other daughter's a healer, but again, she's not ready to acknowledge that. So, and my boys, I know my twins were very intuitive. And I have one that's been actually, she started at 8.5 with anxiety. Nipped that right away as soon as I found out. And then by 10, she could see 3-dimensional people who have passed, spirit. And I kind of trained her to set her boundaries and to command her space. I didn't want her involved in this until she was older.
Right.
So I usually tell kids that come to me, bring them back when they're 16, because this is not going away. So when they're 16, I feel it's a good time. She sees a lot of spirit. The first person she saw was my husband, and she saw him at a party at my house in the bathroom, and she came running out and she grabbed me and dragged me into the bathroom. I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "I just saw Papa." I said, "You did? How lucky for you." And then I explained it. I said, "You have a light that comes out of your head, and spirit knows that you could see them, hear them, or feel them, and they're going to come and try to talk to you." I said, "He doesn't want to frighten you. He's not here to scare you." I spread out to 45 different countries, and that was the last time I counted. The demand for anxiety has become stronger than anything else, which is why I wrote the book, The Gifts Beneath Your Anxiety, because the anxiety is connected to mediumship, tremendously connected to mediumship. People will call me in their 80s and live their whole life with anxiety like this. Some of them are agoraphobic. They can't leave their homes. And I feel horrible that I didn't know them or that I didn't write a book sooner. And not everybody's going to get the book anyway.
Right.
You know, it's a select amount of people that see the book. Sometimes it falls off the shelf at them. Sometimes somebody recommends, somebody gives it as a gift. But I keep telling people, spread it. Spread the word. I don't care about the book. I want people to stop having anxiety. And if they understand the tools, it's that much easier. People have fears and phobias, and in my opinion, the more fears you have, the more gifted you are. You just don't know it.